name is Deborah and this is my channel, Stitch the Stash. Today is Saturday, January 16th, 2021. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If this is your first time checking out my channel, I hope you enjoy and see something that you might like. This is a channel all about cross stitch, and occasionally I will be sharing my knitting projects here too. So welcome. I'd also like to say a huge welcome to all of my brand new subscribers. I've had quite the increase during the past week and a half. Some of you have already been commenting on my previous videos, and I sure do enjoy talking with you and getting to know you a little bit better. So welcome. I'm happy to have you here, and I hope you continue to enjoy with what I have to share. I also want to say thank you to everyone who has started to fill out my Happy Mail Google form. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As I stated in my previous video, that I am implementing a Google form for anyone who wants to enter any of my Pass the Stashes or any giveaways that I will be having. I do need you to go ahead and fill out my Google form. That way, when I select you as a winner, I already have your mailing address and I can just go ahead and get everything mailed out to you. So if you haven't done so already, there is a link down below in the description box for you to click on and fill it out. Also, I'd like to thank those of you who have filled out my Google form and then requested to follow me on Instagram. Because you filled out my Google form, I was able to cross-reference your name and automatically confirm you as a friend, and that has helped me greatly. And if you do want to follow me and you haven't filled out the Google form and I have not confirmed you, please drop me a direct message and I will take a look at it. If you do not have any pictures nor any posts, I will not confirm you. Those tend to be a lot of spoof accounts, and I've had to remove a couple of those from my Instagram following list because they're not real accounts. So if you happen to have an account that maybe has no picture, maybe a couple of posts, and I don't confirm you, please give me a direct message and I will take a look at that. But I also would like to remind everyone that my Instagram is my private account. It's my private personal account. I share everything in my life there. I've had the account for many years. I share all facets of my life, whether it's my running, trips we take, my family life, my hobbies, my thoughts, feelings, opinions, things I've gone through in my life. I have shared it all there. It's not strictly a cross-stitching account. So if you're looking for just cross-stitching, maybe my Instagram account is not for you. So yeah, but if you want to follow me, look me up at Stitch the Stash and I will try to get you confirmed if I can verify that it's not a fake spoofed account. So yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about what I have for you today. I have a finish, I have some whips, which is works in progress, I have a couple of new starts, and then I do have a small amount of retail therapy. I have a knitting whip to share with you, and then I have my plans that I'll share with you for what I'm planning for the next week. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so now let's talk about what I have finished. I've also put on my pair of reading glasses. That way I can read my notes a little bit more clearly and see things better on the screen. I normally wear my other glasses, but I have a new lighting system and you could really see the reflection in my glasses, so that's why I put on contacts today. But my reading glasses seem to be a-okay. Alright, so I have a finish for you today, and I finished it this morning. It is my Lizzie Kate Yearbook February. Absolutely love this. I stitched it on 28 count linen by Lakeside Linens in the color Vintage Exemplar, and I started this, I started all 12 of these back in July during the 24 hours of cross stitch weekend. I started all all 12 of these, and I've been working my way through them. I finished August through January last year, and now I have February done. Super cute. I have the charm on there. I will fully finish it this weekend, so I have it ready to be displayed in a couple of weeks. And then I will move on to March. I just realized I never showed you the fully finished object for my Lizzie Kate monthly series. And here is how I am displaying them. I have this pedestal frame display that I first saw Erin to Martini Stitcher. She uses this frame to display hers. It did come from Michael's. I got mine last summer. I do not know if they have any more in stock. I was just seeing if there was a number on the back here. It might be frame 506642. I know some of the colors, because it comes in different colors, were on clearance. This one was not. But what I did is I took the glass out, and I took a piece of foam core and covered it in this blue quilting cotton that I had in my stash. Then I added this, I believe this is a 7/8 or 5/8 inch wide brown ribbon that I just wrapped around, and I took my monthly piece and mounted it on a piece of acid-free mat board. I put a piece of batting between that and my stitching. I laced it, and then I put a piece of felt on the back. And I have these on here using Velcro because my washers and magnets did not work. The washers had a slight magnetism to it, but was not very strong, and my magnets I don't think were strong enough to hold this piece up, so I just used what I had on hand, and that was Velcro. So I will finish all 12 months like I did January, and put a piece of Velcro on the back, and then just put it on here every month. Absolutely love it. I chose this fabric because every month but 3 months have this really beautiful blue teal color in it. And I believe it is October, November, December. I think that's correct. Don't have those colors, but yet they have like a navy, dark navy blue in it. And this fabric has dark navy blue in it. So I thought it would go well with all 12 months. I love it. I'm super excited to be able to have this on display now. What have I been working on during the past week? Quite a bit. My needle has been very busy. The first project I pulled out was my Heaven and Earth Designs Quick Stitch Lavender Roses. The artwork is by Carrie Hawks. I absolutely love this. This was my first Heaven and Earth Designs pattern that I've decided to try stitching. I have quite a few more in my stash, but I will not start any of them until this one's finished. So this is where it was at the last time you saw it. I am stitching it on a 25 count easy grid Lugana, stitching it 1/1, and this is where I'm at with it. I put in last Sunday about 316 stitches. I am using Pattern Keeper, and that's the only way I know how many stitches I am putting into this project, because I am not counting stitches anymore. And so yeah, I had a lot of perked threads that I wanted to work through because I wanted to fill in more of this. So I filled in more of this right here, and as you can see, I filled in the rest of this rose. I absolutely love this. These are just parked threads that are my ends that need to be snipped. I'm just covering the backs of, covering over the raw edges a little bit more before I snip them. And my plan is to pull this back out tomorrow afternoon, evening, to put in a little bit more work in it. I would like to get this done. I would like it done this year. I don't know if that will happen because it will need a lot of love to get done this year. But yeah, I'm loving working on it now. I have an assortment of needle minders. The moons are from Abby Topknot. I think the pumpkin's from her. This is from, I believe, Mad for Minders. This is from Luminous Fiber Arts. And this one, this butterfly, was a freebie with one of my orders. And then this Tigger and Winnie the Pooh is from, it was a gift from the Climbing Stitcher for my birthday last year. Absolutely love this, and I'll give it more love this weekend. The next project I worked on is housed in my Delicious Threads bag. This was a special kit that she had put together with one of Bendy Stitchy's patterns, and I was lucky enough to be able to purchase one of these. It was over a year ago. But the pattern inside is my Hands-On Designs Let's Talk Winter. It is the chalk top piece. This is where it was at the last time you saw it. I am stitching it on a 32 count linen by Fabrics by Stephanie in the color Slate. And this is where I'm at with it now. I've got quite a bit of work on it done since you saw it last week. This is one of my January Whip Go pieces. I have it on my board for a finish. I do not know if it'll be a finish this month, but I'm going to try. I love this piece. It's, I have just a little bit more down here and then go over, and then I will have reached the halfway point of the pattern. And because it's words, they tend to stitch faster. So yeah, I've been cruising on this. I've been trying to stitch on it a little bit every day this week. My plan is to just to continue stitching on it as much as I can this month. This will come out next weekend for for 24 hours of cross stitch weekend, and I will be stitching on just this piece during those 24 hours. It's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday event. I do work Friday, so I'll probably only get a couple hours of stitching in on Friday. And I know I'm not going to make the 24 hours. I never do. But yeah, I'm hoping I can knock out a lot more of this piece. I absolutely love it. And it would be fantastic if I got it done this month. The next project I worked on is housed in this Diddly Daddle Designs bag that I managed to get last fall. Absolutely love her bags. And someone asked me if I could talk about my favorite bag makers, and what I'm planning on doing is in the description box I will link to my favorite bag makers there. Let me just see if I can find the cover sheet of the pattern. The pattern I am stitching is Like a Cherry Blossom by Stitches Through the Years. This is a project that I stitch on the 13th of every month. And this is where I'm at on it. Absolutely love this. I have worked all the way across on the bottom border. So I decided to focus on the right hand border on the 13th. And I finished this flower and then worked my way up. On the second page there. I have probably like 6 more flowers to put on the right hand border before I reach the top border, and once I do and put a little bit of the top border in, I will cut down my fabric because I didn't do that. I just was so excited to get this started last year that I didn't even cut down my fabric. So yeah, I absolutely love working on this. All these flowers, the big flowers, have some back stitching in them, and I am planning on doing that last because I don't want to crush any or distort any of my back stitching. But yep, absolutely love this. Love this fabric. It is one of my favorites, and I really think that this pattern is looking fabulous on this fabric. Now we're on to what my new starts were for this week, because I have 2. I had one planned and then another spontaneous one. The first one is being housed in this fabulous 805 stitcher bag. It is the blue-footed booby bag. She created these in a special collaboration project with Stephanie from Lindy Stitches, and the project is Beach Dance by Lindy Stitches. And I started this yesterday in honor of Nicole from Stitches with Sphinxes. It is her birthday on Sunday, and so I'm styling this with her. She decided that we should start on Friday night and celebrate all weekend long, so that's what I did. I am stitching this on a 32 count linen by Bee Stitch Me in the color Mummy. And this is where I am at with it. I decided that because I was working, I wanted to start with something simple. So I started this before I started work on Friday, and there is a checkerboard border on the outside. I just went in and started with the inner border. And then I completed that, and then I put in 1 thread length of the beach sand. Now I stitched that 3 times. The first time I grabbed the wrong thread. I'm sitting there stitching. Something's telling me this is awfully dark sand. Why is the sand so dark? Got all the way through, and then I realized, oh, I used the thread for the bird's wings. So I ripped it out, grabbed the correct color, but you know what I did? I put it in on the wrong border. When I put my fabric down and picked it back up, I had accidentally turned it. So I ripped that out, turned my fabric back the right way, and put this thread length in, and then I called it good for the day. I was over it. I stitched on it before work and during my lunch break and a little bit after work, and I'm like, no, I'll put it away for another day. It will get more love today and tomorrow, and I'm excited to see how far I can get with it this weekend. There is one color change I am planning on making with this pattern. As you can see, the bird's feet are this gorgeous bright blue. That's why they're called the blue-footed boobies. I pulled the DMC color last night, and I did not see this gorgeous bright blue. It's more of a muted sky blue. So I went through my stash, and I pulled out this color in cotton. It is called Snow Cone, and I feel like this is the perfect blue-footed booby foot color, and I think it's going to look really good. And that's one of the reasons why I love this pattern. I loved their feet. They're gorgeous, so I wanted to have the thread color match what I saw. So yep, I will probably put those feet in this weekend. The last project I have to share with you is something that I started this morning. That was not a planned start. It's something that I had heard about this week, and I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? So I went ahead and joined the Quirky Quaker Sal that Erin 2 Martini Stitcher is hosting. It starts today, and I chose to stitch Quirky Quaker number 4 is by Darling and Whimsey Designs, and I am stitching the fox. It's super cute. She has several in the series. When I purchased this one, I purchased 2 others. I love them all, but I just started with 3, and today this is the one that I started. I am stitching it on a 32 count linen by X Jude Design in the color Marbled Blue. It's just a small piece of fabric that I had in my stash, so I thought it would be perfect for this. It's still on the hoop because I'm planning on still working on it today. But this is where I got to this morning. I finished the outside border, and I just started putting in one of the little motifs on the inside. I am using thread color in cotton red fox. Absolutely love it. Thought it was perfect, and I love how it pops off of this fabric. Now, this fabric's getting a little washed out. That's more true to color right there. I love it. I'm hoping to have it done this weekend. So does it really count as a whip if you finish it and start it in a day or 2? I'll definitely count the finish though, because you know I am working on my 50 finishes for turning 50 this year. I have 2 finishes down. I have 48 more to go. Anyway, I get sidetracked. Absolutely love this. I just spent a couple hours stitching this morning. My needle minder is from Kim's Creative Needle Minder on Etsy. Had to think for a moment. But yeah, I love it. And I also wanted to get a little update on the hoop because these are the Nerge. Let's see if I can show you. The Nerge hoops that I purchased from Joann's online. I believe they are a German wooden hoop. I first heard about them from Annie Joyful Stitcher, who heard about them from Kia Bee Quilting. Kia had told Annie that Joann sold these hoops, but under the name Top Premium Hoop. So I ordered a bunch because I enjoy stitching on a wooden hoop. I love, love, love these hoops. And the tension is fantastic. I have some Franklin hoops. I can't remember the full name. I think they're called Franklin hoops that I had purchased off of Amazon a couple of years ago. And they're great, but then on a couple of my hoops, the screw doesn't screw anymore, so they don't get tight. So these are fantastic. The tension is perfect, and I haven't wrapped them yet, and you don't really need to. If you wrap the inner hoop, it just gives it a little extra layer of protection between your fabric and the wooden hoop. But yeah, I don't leave my hoops on for extended period of time, so I don't have crushed stitches. Sorry. But yeah, can't recommend them enough. At Joann's, no matter what size you purchase, they're all the same price, $4.99. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend. All right, so that is all of my stitching this week. Let's move on to my small amount of, no. Let's move on to my knitting. Let's talk about my knitting really quickly. Here's a picture of the design. I am knitting the Avenue socks by the Knitting Expat. I love her designs. I believe this one comes out of her New York collection. I always link the pattern in the description box below if you're interested. But this is where I'm at with it. I am knitting with Cat Sandwich Fibers yarn in the color Merry and Bright. This was one of her Christmas releases a couple of years ago. And as you can see, I finished the leg and I started putting in, I did the heel, and then now I'm working on the foot. I am using a size 0 Chiagu. I believe this is a 42-inch cable because I magic loop my socks. I switched to the size 0s when I started the heel because I like a little bit tighter fabric across the heel and down my foot. And I use size 1s for the cuff and the leg. This is the first time, well, not the first time I did this kind of heel construction. It is a German short row heel. It doesn't look fantastic. I'm not super pleased with it, but I decided to just go with it. I'm only planning on wearing these socks once a year, which is during the holiday time. Most likely will not be put into a shoe, so I'm not going to stress over the heel too much. But because of the stitch count, my normal traditional heel flap and gusset I'd like to do didn't work out, so I just embraced the German short row heel that was in the pattern and just went with it. It's called committing and going. That's my word this year, is commit, and I committed and I went with it. Everyone talks about how they love the watermelon socks, and yes, they look like they're watermelon socks right there, absolutely. I know that the dyer of this yarn, she loves bright colors, and I know that when it's caked up, which is right here, when it's caked up, to me it looks like a vintage Christmas, and I think that's what she was going for, but everyone says watermelon socks, and I agree. All right, so I'm just going to continue working on the foot, and hopefully I will have this done in the next week or so, and then I will start sock number 2, which I will have done by the end of the month because sock number 2 always goes much faster than sock number 1. All right, so now let's talk about the small amount of retail therapy I have. Before I go into retail therapy, I forgot to mention, it seems like I continue to forget, help if I followed my notes. Someone asked me last week if I planned on doing sock knitting tutorials on my channel. And right now, I am not. I do teach people how to knit, but it's generally in person. And I'm not really wanting to delve into the foray of teaching how to knit online at the moment. However, there's an excellent resource I can point you to. Her name is Denise. She has a knitting podcast here on YouTube. Her channel is called Earth Tones Girl, and she created a series called Fearless Sock Knitting. I think it's 7 or 8 videos where she walks you through on how to knit a sock. Beginner friendly. I highly recommend. I will link her channel down below for anyone that is interested. Retail therapy. What have I purchased in the past week? Well, not necessarily purchased in the past week, but have arrived in the mail to me. I did also purchase some PDF patterns. The first one from Darling and Whimsey was the Fox Quaker, which I've shown you. I also purchased 2 other of her Quakers, the Hedgehog and the Lovebirds. I haven't printed those yet, so I'll just, you will have seen them over here somewhere. I also purchased, and this is going to be a mystery sow from Barbara Anna Designs. It's called Dreaming Girl. I purchased it from creativepoppies.com, and this starts February 1st, I believe, and it releases, I don't know how many parts. I don't remember how many parts there are, but I fell in love with her just from that little bit of a preview. And yeah, I think I've already pulled an overdyed thread for her hair color, but of course I need to see the pattern first just to make sure that is one color and not multiple colors, but she's going to be beautiful. I also purchased from the Fat Quarter Shop. They are doing a stitching and quilting sale for Black History Month, and it's called Stronger Together. I have purchased both the knitting cross-stitching one, which you see here, and you get both of these patterns. And I also purchased the quilting one. And you could also get, for the quilting one, you could have bought the fabric pack, but it was already sold out. So I will eventually create the quilt, but I thought, okay, for next month, I will stitch this for celebrating Black History Month. And then I have a couple of project bags that came into my possession. The first one is from Vintage Owl Lady Bags on Etsy. And yep, it's her Christmas grumpy cat bag. She popped it in her shop and I snatched it up. And inside is this gorgeous, adorable fish bones, mice, bowls, milk, perfect, love it. And then she has this little Christmas light bulb for her zipper pull. Absolutely adore this. I mean, come on, really? Christmas, favorite holiday for me. Cats, absolutely, this had my name all over it. And then Tara, the 805 Stitcher, she put up last week her some of the new bags in her shop, and as I was looking at, like, I don't need more bags, I don't need more bags, I don't need more bags, boom, I need another bag. Aren't they stinking adorable? Oh my goodness, yes, 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 these are my cats. Well, Chloe, not so much. This is Shanna. She gets into everything. Absolutely adorable. And then the inside are these little kitty cats staring at you. And she always includes a coordinating needle minder and a sweet little note in there. I love her bags. And again, all my favorite bag makers will be listed below. Yeah, I have quite a few, so be prepared. All right, so that is all of my retail therapy. Let's move on to plans. What are my plans for the next week? Well, I'm going to work on the Quirky Quaker the rest of this weekend. Hopefully finish it. I am going to work on beach dance the rest of this weekend. Hopefully get a good amount of stitches in it. I'm going for a finish by the end of February on that one. You heard it here. But Sunday, which is tomorrow, I stitch on my project that I started on my birthday last year. So I will be pulling out Princess Eliana to work on her tomorrow and give her some love. I'm also hoping tomorrow night to pull out my Quick Stitch Lavender Roses and give that some more love tomorrow night. And then on the 20th, which is Inauguration Day, there's a sale going on. I'm going to be starting Oh Joyous Day. But I'm not stitching this as a whole entire piece. I have decided, and I'm going to start with this band right here. So I'm going to stitch this band, and I want to have it finished as a drum. And I most likely will also stitch this one eventually as a drum also. And maybe if I stitch the middle piece, it will just be a freestanding framed piece, but that also could be finished as a drum. So that I just need to pick out my fabric. I believe I'm going to use the DMC. I have used the DMC on several Blackbird Designs projects before. They are just as beautiful as the overdyes. I highly, highly encourage you to use your DMC. If that's all that you have, you will still get a beautiful result. So my plan is to do this band first, and I just need to pick my fabric out. I have like 3 contenders right now. We'll decide that hopefully by the end of this weekend. All right, so then on Thursday, I have 2 whips that have a birthday. I probably will not stitch on both of them on the same day. I'll probably do one on Wednesday. No, one on Thursday, one on Friday. I don't know which one yet, but they are Spring by the Cricket Collection, and then Geranium by Nora Corbett. And I've said this before, my pattern did not come with the picture. I just printed this from the internet, and it's just missing some ink from the vinyl the project bag I had it in. The vinyl absorbed the ink on the paper. So I will be stitching on those 2 birthday whips sometime this week. And then next week is 24 hours of cross stitch. Yay! I said this earlier, my plan is to stitch on Let's Talk Winter the whole entire weekend and see how far I can get with that. So that is my very ambitious plans for this coming week, and I'm super excited to see what I can get accomplished. I am feeling very optimistic. I have been very good this month so far. I have stitched every day, and I have hit all of my stitching goals that I've wanted to for every day. If I have a project that needs to be stitched on a certain day, I've been doing it. If I have a project that has a birthday, I've been touching it. So I'm going into next week very optimistically. All right, so that is all I have for you today. I hope this is another short one. I don't think I will be back next weekend with an update because I will be stitching furiously on Let's Talk Winter in hopes of getting it closer to a finish. So do not be looking for an update video from me next weekend. However, I will be back the last weekend of the month. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you subscribe if this is your first time watching me. Be sure to click the bell so you can be reminded when I have a new video uploaded. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. It just helps let YouTube know that you enjoyed my video, and maybe they'll recommend me to more people. And leave me a comment. Let me know, what are you stitching this week? I would love to hear what you are working on. And with that, I will see you guys in a couple of weeks, and we will catch up then. Happy stitching. See you next time. Bye.